Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of SnowTown here in City Skylines. Well guys, last episode we finally added in the passenger train line that hooked up all of our industrial areas to bring in the workers over to them, which now hopefully we can maximize the amount of people able to get to those areas, work there, do the jobs to make us that sweet cash money moolah. Now, in the last few episodes, we've been struggling a little bit in terms of the utilities, and for the longest time, ever since we created that utility island, I said I needed another kind of, not utility island, but a utility kind of centralized point on the opposite side of the river. It's a long way for some of the vehicles and some of the stuff to kind of travel to get over there, and the island is limited to how much space we also have. So today we're going to focus on building that kind of utility section on the opposite side of the river, which is going to help SnowTown flourish even more. It's going to enable the garbage trucks and the snow dumps to be able to get where they need to get to so much easier. And if we think about it correctly and we hook it up to the highway as well, we can really utilize how quick they can get to certain areas. So as always guys, just before we get into this, if you are enjoying SnowTown and want to see more, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you are new in here, make sure you subscribe so you're notified when that next episode does come out. But we're back anyway. We are back right now, and this is what we're trying to replicate in the other side of the island. Now recently we had some issues with the boiler stations not having enough fuel to keep them powered, and we had to drop down a couple of geothermal heating plants. Well, in our new section we're going to place down just geothermal heating plants to kind of future-proof ourselves in the long run. We have the advanced ego water treatment plants. We have this little kind of basin right now. Well, there's a lot of stuff we got to do to kind of get something very similar like this on the other side of the river. So it's going to be pretty fun. Now, I've picked the point where I want it. I could have used one of these little islands, but I want it to be really, really close to the highway. Able to get on and off the highway really easy. So stuff like the garbage trucks, which we have a couple of garbage plants just over here, and we're gonna place like some snow dumps. Currently I've got them dotted around here, which is not a really good position for them, but I can get some more dotted around too. It's going to be pretty dope. So I've pinpointed this area here. It's outside on the outskirts of the main section over here right now, but the difference is it can jump, well, we'll enable it to jump straight into the highway, and then it can skedaddle where it needs to get to. Whereas as of right now, it kind of has to, you know, maneuver through all this, then get onto this, and then drive to where it needs to get to. It's quite a far location over this side, so at least this one, it can serve pretty well. It should be pretty fun. It should be pretty fun. So it's pretty good because it's naturally kind of bordered by all of this kind of mountainous region, and we need to create a nice little inlet and outlet area. Now what will benefit this area too is us having a highway connection to the general road. So I've got to think about it in two different ways. That's what we kind of have to do right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a normal road that comes down off the underground section. I also want to create a connection to the highway, and at the same time I want to create a turn off point for the highway to that road, because the closest one after that is either this one or this one, and we want one a little bit closer as well. So we got our work cut out for us today, guys. We really have got our work cut out for us. So let's jump to the roads then. And we're going to go for the big medium roads here. And we'll take the one with the trees, because that's what we've been using for the most part on this section. And I'm going to pick a random spot like here. I have to anarchy it to bring it under just for a hot minute. There we go. And then bring it right up. I'll say to about here before we design the rest of it. So that is just the standard road connection for underneath. We also need to, like I said, get it connected up. Now there's two ways in which I can do this. I could either have that like that, and then maybe over here we have a connection there, and over here we have a connection there. So what I'm thinking of doing is, I could either do it like, where did I place it? Like this over here, where the two junctions either side are not together, they're separated like that. And then we have like the road that comes through the middle like that on the other side. Or my other option is like this one, where it kind of connects in the middle at the same standardized point, which might create a little bit of traffic over here, I don't know. Or the other option is I come off here and it kind of connects up, and then off here do it to there, But then if you're coming off here, I wanted to go down there, you got to go down this road, cut out. It becomes a little bit of a mess then at that point. So I don't think I'll go down that route. We'll mimic this style, but separate them. I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So if I can remember correctly, because it's been a while since I last built something like that, it's almost like a little two-way highway to there. And how much does it stick out by? 10. Bends round, which I assume is a 5x5, and a little bit of a stretch there by... Yeah, right, we got it. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So if I picture this on, say, this point here and bring it out by 10, right, and then we allow it to bend, so 5x5 in that direction. We'll do another 5. And by doing it from that point there, what that allows me to do is pinpoint it here, but the connection for the road section is a little bit further down. Now that is actually, if you think about it, 36, which is a little bit of a weird number. But 36 is going to be about there for this one. So bring that one out by 10. So we're kind of bringing them in. So yes, we're creating like technically 3 junctions, but with the right and correct lane managements, we can get this sorted. And we'll just see what happens, really, isn't it? That is all we can hope for right now, is seeing what happens. And that is what I do most of my building in City Skylines based on. Seeing what will eventually just happen. Right, so we need to elevate these 2 sections right now. So we push them up. Bam, 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 bam. And we'll pinpoint both of these. Oh, I don't know why those vehicles are going up and round right now. We'll pinpoint them both to the same height. So we align them to the same object height as that. I'll sort out the slopes a little bit later. I just want to focus on then getting these. And should we do an 8x8? We'll do 8x8s on both. There we go. And then we can use the power of the move it tool to create some beautiful bends. So there and like there. How's that? That should be pretty good. There and there. Why not? And then we get the 2-lane highway because, you know, lane math. We upgrade those. Do the same just here. And then we get our lane management real quick right now. To sort out where they need to go. Making sure that that doesn't create a turning point. And then we have standardized and simple connections to the highway. As simple as that may be, there we go. Beautiful. So let's just sort out then the alignments of the sloped ramp. So I think I'll take it directly to there. And we'll pick here, there, there, and there. And then we slope the objects. So it's a more of a gradual incline. There to there to there. Slope. Oh, hold on. Slope objects. Pretty good. Pretty good if you ask me. So I can do a load of like lane management and alignments on these junctions. But for the moment right now, I think I'll leave it for now until I start to see all the problems arise. The only thing I will do for now though is turn off the traffic lights just to kind of keep them flowing. But I can do like dedicated turning lanes that turn in and then straight over, and then dedicated turning lanes again down here. But I'll leave that until I do initially start to see the big bulk of the traffic happening over here, because we might be able to get away with it with what is currently set up, but 9 times out of 10 we probably won't. But again, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Right. So now then, we're going to bring up the industrial roads. So if I go back to our original utility island, you can see we have then the kind of little section here for all the heating. We have the little section there for the water, for the sewage, for the power, and for the garbage. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas. Now, if we take a look at our utilities right now, and I can bring this up here, it's a little bit easier to see. I need more water, which at the moment, right, I don't have anything to bring anything in. So does that mean I create a canal system to forge some water through this area? Or do I move something like... No, I don't want to move it. I'm going to have to create something, can't I? Yeah. Sewage is fine because we can create those inland water treatment plants. Electricity's fine. We don't need to do any electricity because we built that Tesla Gigafactory. So we could potentially get rid of these solar plants as well to reduce our electricity bill a little bit anyway, or as much as we can. Garbage is in the red, so we need more garbage facilities. So I'm thinking then, now because the highway is elevated on this side, it could be a good little way to build a canal system to create something that we can then use to suck up water. We're creating like a ground level aqueduct, if that makes sense. I don't know if that is a real thing or not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So if I did that then, if I based it off that, and let's say, hang on, how wide are these? That's pretty wide, isn't it? Yeah. So let's say I use the medium canal, and I base it off the distance to this. We bring that across by, that's 24, but if I bring it across by 20 there, and then I shoot that down to 30 to there, cross by 20, up by 30. So I'm creating these little kind of river sections where I can put pumping stations on either side to suck up water, and also allow us to create maybe roads or walkways over as well to get to these buildings. But I've also got to make sure as well, guys, that I'm also setting up enough water flow coming in. So I'm thinking maybe like the deep wide canal. How's that? The deep wide canal. Maybe not straight there. Like if I get that medium back up and upgrade it. Just a way to kind of filter in water. I mean, let's go for the medium as well, so it's all the same level. So it's wide enough to kind of create enough flow coming in. That is my main thought process on this. Now, can I do something diagonal? Can you bend these? You can. Right, so if I come up by another 20. I'm trying to see what would happen if I went on a slight diagonal. As it filtered the majority of the water in this area. And then like that. And I could come in like our little water treatment plant. So we've got a wide canal that brings in a lot of the water, and it filters into three different directions. Now there's only one way to find out really, isn't there? And that is actually taking it right to the edge. There we go. But like I said, ultimately I don't know how it's going to work out, how it's going to play out. It's all bendy and windy as well, so I don't know whether that becomes an issue. Maybe I take it from this point and... Actually, let me get rid of roads. Roads! Where are we going? We don't need roads. Oh, I was picking up all that stuff. Right, let me get rid of trees and buildings. Is that classed as that? Yeah. And then if I choose to then slope it all, so it's more of a gradual... I mean, is that then more of a slope leading out of this place? Look how that is quite deep, isn't it? Yeah. I've really elevated the highway, but obviously when the water gets in, it kind of sorts it all out. And I will expect to see a little bit of flooding happening as well. Well, let me pause. Yeah, I will expect to see some flooding happening because... That's normally what does happen when you build something like this. But let me try and smoothen as much as I can on this area. Push it back as much as possible. Alright, come on, boy. Smoothing. Because I want it to look as normal as possible. But we'll see how it goes. We'll just ultimately see how it goes right now. It could be all wrong, but we'll give it time for the water to fill up. That's what we'll do. So it's quite a cool little system. We've manufactured our own flow of water to come in that we can utilize to pretty much water the nation, so to speak. So let's go back to this 6-lane road anyway, 4-lane road, sorry. Let me pick a point here. Let's turn the anarchy off again. That leads up. Right, and I think on this side here, I'm going to build some garbage plants. So if I pick a point there, and let's say I bring it by 15. And then that could maybe cut in by 25. That can come up by, I'm trying to get it 25 as well. But then I think actually let me delete that again. We'll come up by 20. And then go up 20 just there. Okay, so what I'm trying to do then is utilize the space, because I know as they come out, they'll do a right turn, and then right turn to go up and go that direction. So I'm limiting the amount of times they need to cross over another road. And we want to get down the large recycling centers, which are these ones. So I can squeeze in one there. I can squeeze in one just here. And actually, if I delete that bit there, bring that to there, and then straight down and straight up. I can add one there. And I'm trying to get it, if I place that there, yeah, on the other side of it. So if I went straight across, let's say here, place it on this side of the road so it's off that side. And I could ultimately do a road cutting through the middle if I wanted to, but we'll keep it for that then. It comes a nice little junction. I can add more in. And we need to get the water over here. Oh, that's a point. So we do the geothermal heating plants first. Damn, son. The damn. Right, now get these coming down this direction. So I want them over on this side. Well, then you think about it. No, I did it inland water treatment plants there. We did a geothermal plants over on this side. So I bring that down by 40. And how big are they? They are, they're as big as the garbage plants there. So if I come down to here, 25. And then just place a couple here. So if I do one there, one there. So if I first follow the road for the piping, and then we just come off that when and where we need it. And if I get that pretty much going straight over to there, so it's all part of the same connection, would be good. Right, the water is now slowly filling up this area. Look how much the flooding I've now created. That's actually not a good sign. That is actually not a good sign. So what I need to do, thinking about it right now, because I'm causing flooding. Quite terrible flooding, to say the least. Right, if I select, say, this point here. Right, I don't want to elevate it up, but I should actually be maybe selecting these points. And then sloping those points. Not to say that they're high enough for what's going down. But maybe I softened and smoothened the edges a bit too much. If you know what I mean. Right, do it like that. And we'll see what comes out of that. Because I don't mind that. I don't mind a small inlet of river. But we'll just see what happens. Right, okay, so we've got those little plants in there. I will place some more in, but they do need power. Now, I could set up my own little kind of system over here. I could do like I could do a geothermal plant, to be honest with you, to kind of go with all the other geothermal stuff that we have down right now. And that could be what gives us the power in this area. So that goes across by 25. I went down by... What's that up to there? 20. Right, by 20 to cut into there. And then from the heating side of it... Right, if I place another geothermal plant there, if I get rid of this... Just keep it simple. Really, isn't it? That's all I want to do, is keep it simple. Place that there. This big boy road ends there. Cuts into there. Oh, actually, no. Don't cut into there. We'll do another road, and we'll say... Yeah, I'll bring that up. We'll say by 20 here. Alright, come out by 5 there. Let's see if I can get it to run then parallel with this road. Well, with the train track, sorry. That's 3. Hold on, it's a 4x4 bend I'm going for. That's just so this here wasn't going to be connected on directly on the bend. And that road can lead down to wherever it may go. Right, the flooding is now happening over on this side, guys. The flooding is now happening. Oh dear. What have I created? Right, hold on. There we go. Is the flooding bad? Is it going to, like, kill us all off? Fast forward by 9 slightly. It should settle. It should settle. I don't mind that kind of flowing right now. But I do need to place down the water pumps. So let me pause again. Because the water pumps are what, or the water pumping stations are what going to be, is what's going to be that's going to suck up the excess water that tears through. So I'm thinking we do it on the outskirts. I do it on the outskirts like this, rather than on the inside, because then the inside can be an inlet to pass it through and round. So we do 3 like that. We get the water all hooked up. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. And yeah, we still need power over here. So what we're saying on the geothermal... Okay, I can't actually place any power in because of the water that is spreading all over the place. That water's slowly disappearing. They're going to quickly suck up some of the excess, which will kind of sink stuff back in. And we will, when it allows me to. By 10 quickly across there. Try and attempt to drop in a geothermal plant, which doesn't have water just yet. That'll provide them all with power. We're going to give these guys power real quick. And again, that will then start sucking up the excess water. So, but yeah, having that additional canal line, or that water line there that doesn't take any water from these, well, when these start sucking these dry, at least we have that continual route that can push through and push around either side for them to continue to get the water. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Now, my only concern now is that this flooded area right now, it's either the overspill Or it might be a little bit too low. But we won't know until all the pumps start kicking in. And we start rocking and rolling a little bit further. But we'll see. So, as of right now, then we've got power over here. We have the water pumping stations. All good, all good, all good, all good. So, from this point of view, electricity is good. Water is good. Sewage, no. Garbage has improved, but what it doesn't show you on that list is heating available, which heating is amazing as well. So we need sewage treatment now at this point, which is we're going to throw it in along these roads. So if I pick this road here as this point and we come up by 15. Now that becomes a 10 by 10 to connect in. And that's where that road will then end. And then how big are the water treatment plants? They are... Now we're doing advanced eco ones. Yeah, we'll keep it slightly eco-friendly on this side. And we'll have the inlet road happen just here. So we'll come out by 15. I'll come out by 10 there. We might as well make them connect. So that's 8. And how far down here? 8. Oh, it's going to be a straight 8 by 8. Nice. And then we'll make a point come out there. A point slightly come out there. And one just there. So those roads that stick out there are purely to fit these bad boys in. So if I go one there, I can have one directly next to it. One there, one directly next to it. Do one there, and then one there. So that's a lot of sewage treatment that I'm throwing in. But what it does, it future-proofs ourselves for, you know, the eventual growths that we're going to have. And has the power. So all that's now gone through the roof. It is now all gone through the roof. That water is now settling down on the inlet right now. So as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, it's like pushing out on the sides, which shows you that it is settling down. Oh my goodness me, this bit here doesn't have any water whatsoever. So I don't know whether I'll make it a little bit deeper on that one side. Or whether I just give it a little bit more time to pass through, because again, it still could be slightly adjusted. But yeah, that's not good for that one, is it? Right, how is the traffic over here? It's still okay at the minute. It is kind of still okay at the moment, but we will keep our eye on it. We will keep our eye on that. I do want to play around with it in just a moment, but there's no biggie issues at the minute. So, right, garbage has gone up slightly. I could still add some more on to kind of make it more beneficial. So we might as well squeeze that in now. And if I pinpoint, if that is technically 15 across... If I go 15 across here and then down and in, we can have this road go round and connect up. So where is the marker for it? Oh, is that it then? There. Which is around about 16 across. Oh, 17. Okay. Yeah, we'll go for the full 17. So that can bend round like that. So it follows it round, allows you to skip all that section as you drive down. And then we will pull this down to 40 there. And if I bring that to here, now how far away is this technically? That is 35. So the 35 mark is actually over here. But let's just skip that out of the way for a minute. 18. By 18. We'll kind of end it for there. Frails away a little bit on that side. But that's okay. We'll bring up a road there. And then we can squeeze in a load more of these. So we can put one directly there. One there. One there. I could actually squeeze in one just here. And then with a couple more roads, I'm hoping. A little road up there, we can squeeze in one here and one there. So they each get their own little road that then can filter out on. Which is pretty handy. But that creates that connection there. What I'm also thinking of doing is having maybe like a little road, because this is all underneath. There is nothing really much going on. So if I pick the road, let's say here, and let's bring that up, I can create then an additional bypass road. Which if I chose, let's say this, bring it out by 20. Right, delete that back by a bit more, and that. So that's 20 to that point, 15 to that point. So we'll do the 15 side first. And that creates like a secondary route out. So that's, these guys here might start using that to kind of go down that direction. And these guys will come this way to then hop onto the, the highway connection. We'll see what happens with those. It's a bit of a funky one. But I'll be quite interested to see what they do and how they utilize that section. Right, okay. I don't think then, by the looks of it, enough water is filtering in. So what we could do to kind of top it up in many ways is use because we have a lot of water available. We're using, well, sucking up more than what we're using. So I could use these fresh water outlets to kind of pump back in the clean water. And if I, let's say, place them on this side. Now this could be what tops up the remainder of it. I could be placing also way too many in this little section. There we go. And do they need power? They are connected. What's your issue? Let's say you've got enough heating right now. You have enough heating. So give it a minute. So they're pumping out fresh water. So what they basically do is, when you have an excess of water available, it pumps that excess water out these pipes. They're the outlet pipe, the freshwater outlet. Which if I can pump it back into these, it will fill this area up and then it gets sucked back up. You can't do an infinite water source. I've actually done an experiment on the channel before by using this kind of method. But it just allows us to kind of add more water into this section. So as time goes on, it will fill it up a bit more. Might be enough water to push past this. If not, I can squeeze in a few either side of this. But again, we'll just see what happens with that additional in first before we go any further. This area is looking pretty good right now. And let's sort out these dedicated turning lanes then. So let's set it up like this. If you're in this lane, you go in that direction. If you're here, you go in that direction. So these guys go straight ahead there. These guys go straight ahead here. And if you're here, you're either turning there or going across there. So you know what lane you've got to be in. Now if I do the exact same thing over here, you're there and there. You're here only. You're here only. You're straight on. You're straight on. So when these guys are turning off and then going in that direction, these guys coming across don't get caught up. They know exactly where they need to go. Now the same thing can actually technically happen for this. We could do a turn in there, a turn in there. That turns into here where that turns over to there. That is your straight across road. That is your straight across road. Again, trying to alleviate some of the traffic. There's many other ways in which you can improve that and do it better. But if you just keep it very, very simple, very, very basic, everyone gets into their lanes before they approach the junction. You can see how some of these guys take the left lane, some of them stick in the right. It all depends on where they're going. Thus making the traffic hopefully flow through a little bit easier. Now, by the looks of it, water is trying to seep over from this, so it shows you to a certain extent it is beneficial and handy, but we need that little bit extra. So if I do 1 there, 2 there, 1 there, 2 there, same on this side, so it's all connected to the water system right now, which is good. So that will pump a little bit extra water in, hopefully. And then it won't mean I have to then extend the canal system. We'll keep it as it is. Glorious. What happened here? There's a few little depths. That's where the water got into it. So that again, we'll start pumping up. You can see the water's now filling up slightly. All good stuff. And it's just more visually I want it to look like it's all filled in. That is literally the only thing that I'm trying to do right now. So all these guys are still turning and switching into their lanes, which is good to see. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Now, the only thing that I could do for this area is get them onto the highway. But then again, they could join the highway over here, which I think a lot of them are currently doing, right? I think a lot of them are choosing to jump onto the highway. Some of them are choosing to go straight on. So, yeah, I think that's good as it's going to be, right? I think that is. So, we should be good then. We can pretty much get rid of all of these, but I'll keep them there for now, because you never know what kind of backup we're going to need, and once they start getting the oil, they shouldn't burn as much. How is this lovely little area set up a few episodes ago? It ain't looking too bad. There's a lot of vehicles around here. I still need to simplify this a little bit more, because we've probably got way too many train lines going on right now. Yeah. Trains are filling around, vehicles are filling around right now, which is looking all good. So how much is our industry making? I know we're in a deficit right now, but the industries in general are nearly 40% of our whole income. So from the industries as a whole, we're making nearly 80 big ones. Now the unique factories are still a little bit down. They're actually in minus, along with the ore industry. So that is more of a case of you can catch it at the wrong time. But I also feel like we need to extend the ore industry a lot more as well. That is not living up to its full potential. So, guys, what do you think about this? I can't really do much more with it on this side. But what if I created another one on the opposite side? Let's say, I mean, I could do one over here. I could do one around here or down here or something like that. What do you think to a second ore industry? Because the problem is the ore industry is the one that's slacking the most. Now, you could say it's because of how I've built it, which is fair enough. We didn't expect it to kind of need so much demand. But that is the one that's kind of the furthest away out of everybody. This one's over here. This one's over here, all on this side of the river. And the factories and warehouses that require the goods from the ore industry have to wait the longest. So if I had one over maybe a second additional one, maybe the same size, so it's not too overpowering, might be the way to go forward. I might have to think about that, guys. I might have to think about that. But for now, we're doing pretty good. We have a little bit of a backlog now of the water coming in. And that's probably more down to the fact that we've got too many of these on this one. So they can't suck as much water up. So I'll get rid of 4 of them. Because we added these ones in. So now I've got a backlog coming in of water, because some of the water is going to be trying to push itself back out. You're never going to win. Well, you can win, but you're never going to win with the method that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to pump water in when there's still plenty of water available. I will never learn. I will never learn right now. But I've got to sort this out as well, because we set this up a while ago and we never really came back to adjust it. And it's more the fact that it's the vehicles using this little side road to get into the fishing industry and whatnot. And then we have this road that goes straight over, which leads over to there. What I need to do is eventually have little inlet and outlet routes onto this. It's kind of like depreciate that little road. This junction's holding up pretty damn well. And then we still got to look at these. We haven't really touched these islands since we kind of got them up to a basic setup. But yeah, there's still lots of things we need to do. I need to add in lots more residents. So I'm thinking as well, as time goes on, I might as well start filling up some of these little sections. So get some more residential on that little section there, that little strip. And we'll get some more residents over on this side as well. So where should we pick for the residential section to start growing? Maybe I do it this little section, or is that... Yeah. Pause it for a minute. Get rid of the power lines. Will this kind of stretch all the way over? So a nice little chunk of residential. Water lines aren't really that great over here. So that will probably now suffer for electricity. Well, I say it probably will. It will. But we've got residential now growing up right now on this side. We've got a nice little connection there for the ferry line, which that is part of this little one that runs through the middle section there. So it's got a public transport connection. It has a tram line connection. And it doesn't really have a subway line, but they can jump on a tram line or the ferry line to get to where they need to get to. So there's no biggies, no issues right there. And that will then give this industrial area, which I do want to start extending a little bit more further back, more people to work, which is going to be pretty handy. And this will just slowly fill up anyway. So we're on now the hunt for 100,000 residents within SnowTown. But for now, guys, we're going to end it for here. We've got now this little utility section down, which now actually does mean I can then focus on building the rest of the city and not have to worry about utilities and whatnot, which is good for me. Really happy. We don't got no snow dumps on there just yet, but we'll add them in the future as time goes on. But for now, guys, I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So, good.